Hi. That's a good sign. That's a good start. We're excited about it. Okay. Wow. We're excited. It's Merchant of Venice. I have said it 4 different times, but I mean it every single time how proud I am of all the students and all the work that they put in, from prepping props to fixing their costumes to learning how to do stage makeup and then memorizing huge amounts of lines and learning jokes and gags and a huge amount of Shakespearean text, which is not easy. They have really put the work in, and it's going to show. They've done a really great couple of shows over the last couple of days. We're all super tired. Yeah! At this point, Red Bull's not even going to touch it. That's how tired I personally am. But we're going to, so we need you. We need your energy. We need you to laugh when it's funny. And when it's not funny, probably don't laugh. But we'll let you decide. I think it'll all be pretty self-evident. Again, we're super excited. We are having 2 shows today. So we're going to do the Merchant of Venice with the junior class. We're going to take a 15-minute intermission, and then we're going to have the seniors present Antigone, which is an ancient Greek play by the playwright Sophocles. And when we make the shift, I'm going to have everybody leave out to the gym because we have to reset the stage and move a bunch of chairs and things like that. And then the new seating will be first come, first serve as well. So I'd love for you to be able to keep your spot, but half of these chairs are going away. So I appreciate you again so much for being flexible on that. If you need to leave at any time during the show, the 2 exit signs are clearly marked, but please do be careful. It gets very dark in here. Let's make sure you don't trip over anybody on your way out. And then if we could all just take a brief second and triple check that the old cellular device is in fact off. Even the vibrations we will hear just because it's a small room. So if you could turn it on sound, that'd be super helpful. Help our actors focus and help us to enjoy the show. All right. Let's see. Shakespeare's hard. Turn your phones off. We're all real tired. I think we got it. I think we got all of it. Thank you again so much. It's a comedy. Yeah, it's supposed to be funny. There's lots of jokes. Thank you so much for supporting us and being here. We can't have a show without an audience, and so you're a key part of what it is we're doing. Without you, it's just a lot of people acting silly. All right, so thank you again very much. Without further ado, I am pleased to announce Merchant of Venice by Great Hearts Northern Oaks 11th grade.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. Oh, it wearies me. You say it wearies you? How I caught it, countered or came by it. What stuff is made up, rough is born, I am to learn. Such a wanton sadness makes of me. I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean. Believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hooks abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, hiring in maps for ports and piers and roads, and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad.
But tell not me. I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise.
Believe me, no, I thank my fortune for it. My ventures are not in one body trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore, my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why then, you are in love.
Fie.
Not in love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not married, and 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are married because you are not sad. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Graziano and Lorenzo. Very well, we leave you now with better company.
I would have stayed to let him make you marry if worthier friends had not prevented me.
Your words is very dear in my regard. I take it your own business calls on you. You embrace the occasion.
Good morrow, my good lords.
My lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will leave you. But at dinner time, I pray you have in mind where we must meet.
I will not spare you.
You look not well, Sir Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it that do buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvelously changed.
I hold the world, but as the world brought you on. The stage where every man must play a part, and mine a sad one.
Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter, let old wrinkles hum, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart be cooled with mortifying groans. Why then should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his granddad cut in alabaster, sleep when he wakes, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish? I tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and 'tis my love that speaks. There are sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do a wilful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit. But I'll tell thee more of this another time. Fish not with this melancholy bait, this fool gudgeon. Come, good Lorenzo, fare you well a while. I shall end my exhortation after dinner.
Oh, we will leave you then till dinner time. I must be one of these same dumb wise men. Forget
Very well. A real talker for this year.
Thanks in faith, for silence is only commendable in a neat's tongue dried, and a maid not bendable.
Is that anything now?
Gratiano speaks an infinite deal of nothing, more than any man in all Venice. His reasons are as 2 grains of wheat hid in 2 bushels of chaff. You shall seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they're not worth the search.
Well, tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you forced for pilgrimage, and today promised to tell me of?
It is not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate by something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I now make known to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts where in my time something too prodigal hath left me gauged. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love, and from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes, how to get clear of the debts I owe.
I pray you, son, let me know it. And if it stand within the eye of honor, as you yourself still do, be assured, my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasions.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair, speechless messages. Her name is Portia, nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus's Portia, nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth. For the 4 winds blowing from every coast renowned suitors, and her sunny locks hang on her temples like a golden fleece, which makes her seat at Belmont Colchis' strand, and many Jasons come in quest of her. Oh my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest that all my fortunes are at sea. Neither have I present commodity nor commodity, money, to raise a present sum. Therefore, go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do. Thou shalt be racked to furnish thee to Belmont to fair Portia. Go presently inquire, and so shall I. Where money is, and I no question make, have it of my trust, or for my sake.
By my troth, Nerissa, my little body is aweary of this great world.
You would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were the same abundance as your good fortunes.
It is a good divine that can follow his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done, than to be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps o'er a cold supreme. Such a hair is madness to youth, to skip o'er the meshes of the counsel of the cripple. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. I may neither choose who I would, nor refuse who I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one or refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their deaths have good inspirations. Therefore, the lauded the heats advise in these 3 chests,
of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning also chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen rightly by any but one who shall rightly love. But what warmth is there in your affections towards any of the princely suitors who are already come?
I pray thee overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, love my affection.
Well, first there's the Neapolitan prince.
Aye, that's a colt indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse, and he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can chew him himself. I'm much afeard my lady his mother played false with the smith.
Well, then there's the county palatine.
He doth nothing but frown. As who should say, he will not have me choose. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weaking philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I'd rather be married to a death's head with a bone in its mouth than to either of
Well, how like you the young German, the Duke of Saxony?
these. Very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. At his best, he's little worse than a man, and at his worst, he's little better than a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell, I hope I shall make shift to go without him.
Well, if he should offer to choose, and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
I pray thee, set a deep lash of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within, and temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa, ere I'll be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, having of any of these lords. They've acquainted me with their determinations, which is to return to their home, to trouble you with no more sue, unless you are to be won by some other sort than your father's imposition, depending on the caskets.
Then I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, fair lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier, who came hither in the company of the Marquess de Montfort?
Yes, yes. It was Bassanio, as I think, so was he called.
True, madam. He, of all the men that my foolish eyes have laid upon, was best deserving of fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. Go, Sirrah. Come, Nerissa. Whilst one lord knocks at the gate, another departs at the door.
3,000 ducats. Well.
Aye, sir, for 3 months.
For 3 months. Well.
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
3,000 ducats for 3 months, and Antonio bound.
Your answer to that?
Antonio is a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
No. My meaning in saying he's a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripolis, another to the Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he hath a third at Mexico, a fourth for England, and other ventures he has squandered abroad. But ships are but boards, sailors but men. There be land rats, water thieves, and land thieves. I mean pirates. And then there is the peril of water, winds, and rocks. The man is, notwithstanding, sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
Be assured you may.
I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
If it's please you to dine with us.
Yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet the Nazarite conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, talk with you, walk with you, and so following, but I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. Who is he comes?
This is Senor Antonio.
And how like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian, but More for that, in low simplicity, he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance with us here in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our straight-given, our sacred nation, and he rails. Even there where merchants most do congregate. On me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him.
Shylock, do you hear?
I am debating of my present store, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross of full $3,000. What of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe will furnish. But soft, how many months do you desire? Rest you fair, good senor. Your worship was a last man in our mouths.
Well, Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow by taking or giving of excess, yet, to supply the right wants of my friend, I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed? How much you would?
$3,000. Is a good round sum. 3 months from 12, then, let me see. Rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you?
Senor Antonio, many a time and oft in the Rialto you have rated me about my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug. Sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spet upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, now seems you need my help. Go to then. You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You say, you who did void your room in my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, at the dog money? Is it possible for a cur to lend full 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this, fair sir, you spat on me Wednesday night. You spurned me such day. Another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies I'll lend you thus much monies.
Ah! I must like to call thee so again, to spat on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou shalt lend this money, let us on it to thy friend. One in friendship take a brave or barren metal with thy friend. But rather, lend it to thine enemy, who if he break, thou mayest with better face exact the penalty.
Why, look how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames you have stained me with. Supply your present wants, take no doited usance for my monies, and you'll not hear me. This is kind, I offer.
This were kindness?
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary. Seal me there your single bond, and in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, then let the forfeiture be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, be cut off and taken in what part of your body pleaseth.
Content in faith, I'll seal to such a bond, and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'll rather dwell in my necessity.
Fear not, man, for I will not forfeit it. For within these 2 months, that's a month before this bond expires, I do expect a return of thrice, 3 times the value of this pond.
Oh, Father Abram, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them to suspect the thoughts of others. Pray you tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of my forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh is not so estimable. Profitable neither, as flesh of mutton, beefs, or goats. I say, to buy his favor, I extend this friendship if he will take it so. If not, adieu. For my love, I pray you wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I will seal on this bond.
Then meet me forthwith at the notary. Give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the ducats straight.
Hie thee, gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
I like not fair terms and a villain's mind.
Come now, in this there could be no dismay. My ships arrive a month before the day.
of livery of the brother's son, to whom I am a neighbor near bred.
In terms of choice, I am not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me, and hedged me by his wit to yield to myself his wife, who wins me by that means I told you, yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I have looked on yet for my affection.
Even for that I thank you. Therefore I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune.
You must take your chance, and either not attempt to choose at all, or swear before you choose, if you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in way of marriage. Therefore be advised.
Nor will not. Come bring unto me my chance.
First, forward to the temple. After dinner your hazard shall be made.
Good fortune, then, to make me blessed or cursed amongst men.
Certainly, my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend at my elbow tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo! Lancelot Gobbo! Good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot Gobbo! Use your life, take the stars, run away! Well, my conscience says, Lancelot! Budge not! Budge, says the fiend, budge not, says my conscience. Conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless his mark, is a kind of devil. And to run away from the Jew is to be ruled by the fiend, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation, and in my conscience is but a hard conscience to offer me counsel to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives the more friendly advice. I will run, fiend. My heels are your commandments. I will run!
Master, young man, you, I pray you, which is the way to master Jews?
Do you not know me, father?
Alack, sir, I'm sand blind, I know you not.
Nay, indeed. You had your eyes and right failed knowing me. It's a wise father that knows his child well.
Pray you, sir, stand up. I'm sure you are not Lancelot, my boy.
Pray you. Let's have no more fooling about it. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your son that is, and your child that shall be.
Lord, how art thou changed? How dost thou and thy master agree? I brought him a present. How greet you now?
Well, for my own part, I have set us the rest to run away, so I will not rest till I have run some ground. Father, I'm famished in his service. I tell by every finger you have in my ribs. Oh, Father, how glad I am you have come. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries. I serve not him. I will run as far as God is any ground. Oh, fair fortune, here comes the man now. To him, Father.
God bless your worship.
Gramercy, wouldst thou aught with me?
Here's my son, sir, a poor boy.
Not a poor boy, sir, but a rich Jew's man, as my father shall specify.
He hath a great infection, sir, as one would say to serve.
One speak for both. What would you?
Serve you, sir.
That is the very defect of the matter, sir.
Go, father, with thy son. Take leave of thy old master, and inquire my lodging out. Give him a livery more guarded than his fellows. See it's done.
Come, Father. I'll take my leave of the Jew in the twinkling.
I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. These things being bought and orderly bestowed, return in haste, for I do feast tonight my best esteemed acquaintance. Hie thee, go.
My best endeavor shall be done herein.
Signor Bassanio!
Gratiano!
I have suit to you.
You have obtained it.
You must not deny me. I must go with you to Belmont.
Why then you must. But hear thee, Gratiano, thou art too wild, too rude and bold of voice. Pray thee take pain to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through thy wild behavior I be misconstrued in the place I go to, and lose my hopes.
Signor Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober habit, talk with respect, swear every now and then, wear prayer books in my pocket, look demurely, nay more while grace is saying, thus wear my hat and sigh and say amen.
Well, we shall see your baron.
Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what we do tonight.
I'm sorry about waking my father, so our house is hell, and thou, Mary, devil, didst rob it with some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well, there is a ducat for thee, and Lancelot, soon at supper shalt thou see Lorenzo, who is thy new master's guest. Give him this letter, and do it secretly. So farewell, I would not have my father see me and talk with thee.
Adieu.
Farewell, good Lancelot. Alack, what heinous sin is it in me to be ashamed to be my father's child? Though I'm a daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh, Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian, and thy loving wife.
Friend Lancelot, what's the news?
And it shall please you to break this up, shall seem to signify.
I know the hand in faith. 'Tis a fair hand, and whiter than the paper it writ on is the fair hand I've read.
Love news in faith.
By your leave, sir.
Whither goest thou?
Marry, sir, to bid my old master the Jew to step with my new master the Christian.
Hold here, take this. Tell gentle Jessica I will not fail her. Go, gentlemen, we prepare you for this mass tonight. I'm provided of a torchbearer.
Wasn't that letter from fair Jessica?
I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed how I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she has furnished with, what pageish suit she hath in readiness. If ere the Jew her father shall come to heaven, it'll be for his gentle daughter's sake. And never dare misfortune cross her foot unless she do it under this excuse, that she is issued to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me, peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Well, thou shalt see. Thy eyes shall be thy judge. The difference of old Shylock and the Sawney. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gormandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snore and rend apparel out. Why, Jessica, I say!
Why, Jessica!
Who bids thee call? I do not bid thee call.
Your worship was wont to tell me I could do nothing without bidding.
Call you? What is your will?
I am bid forth to supper, Jessica. There are my keys. But wherefore should I go? I'm not bid for love. They flatter me, but yet I'll go in haste to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I'm right loath to go. There is some ill a-brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight.
I beseech you, sir, go! A young master don't expect your reproach.
So do I his.
And they conspire together. I'm not saying you shall see a mass tonight, but if you do...
What? Are there masks? Hear you me, Jessica, lock up my doors, and when you hear the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head out into the public street to gaze upon Christian fools with varnished faces, but stop my house's ears. I mean my case. Go you before me, sirrah. Say I will come.
I will go before. Mistress, look out the window for all this. There will come a Christian by, that'll be worth the Jewish's eye.
Jessica, go in. Perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid you. Shut doors after you. Fast bind. Fast bind. Proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Farewell. And if my fortunes be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter, lost.
Now, this is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand.
His hour is almost past. Here comes Lorenzo. Where is this hereafter?
Sweet friend, your patience for my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait. When you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you then. But hark, here dwells my father Jew. Approach. Who's within?
Who are you? Tell me for more certainty, albeit I swear that I do know your tongue.
Lorenzo, and thy love.
Lorenzo and my love indeed, for who have I so much, and who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casket, it is worth the pains. I am glad to say that you do not look upon me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange, but love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty folly that they themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transform the boy.
Descend, for you must be my torchbearer.
What, must I hold a candle to my shames?
So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for it with sun who speaks.
I will make fast the doors, and gild myself with some more ducats, and be with you straight.
Now, by my hood, a gentle and no Jew.
Beshrew me, but I love her heartily, for she is wise, if I can judge of her, and fair she is, if that mine eyes be true. And true she is, as she hath proved herself, and therefore, like herself, wise, fair, and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. What art thou? Come on, gentlemen, away, our masking mates at this time for us stay.
Who's there?
Signor Antonio!
5-5, Graciano. Where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock. All our friends stay for you. No master knight. The wind has come about. Bassanio presently will come aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek you.
And I am glad on it, for I can have no more delight than to be gone and under sail tonight.
Go, draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. Now make your choice.
This first of gold, which this inscription bears, who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which this promise carries, who chooseth me shall get as many as he deserves. The third, dull lead, with warning all is blood, who chooseth me must give in hazard all he hath. How shall I know if I do choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, prince. If you choose that, then I am yours with all.
Some God, direct my judgment, let me see. I'll survey the inscriptions back again. What says this lead casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give? For what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens. Men that hazard all do in hopes of fair advantages. I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes, in graces and in qualities of breeding. But what more in love do I deserve? What if I stray no further, but choose here? One of these three contains her heavenly picture. It's like the lead contains her. To her damnation to think so base a thought, to rip her sackcloth in the obscure grave. Or shall I think silver she's immured, being 10 times undervalued to try gold? Oh, sinful thought, never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. Deliver me the key, here do I choose, and thrive I as I may.
There, take it, prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed and labor lost. Then farewell heat and welcome frost. For shall adieu, I have too grieved a heart to take tedious leave, thus losers purpose.
never heard a passion so confused, so strange, outrageous, and so variable as the dog Judith uttered in the streets.
My daughter! Oh, my ducats! Oh, my daughter! Fled with a Christian! Oh, my Christian ducats! Justice, the law, my ducats and my daughter! A sealed bag, 2 sealed bags of ducats, of double ducats, stolen from me by my daughter. And jewels, 2 stones, 2 rich and precious stones stolen by my daughter. Justice, find the girl. She hath the stones upon her, and the ducats.
All the boys in Venice followed him, crying, "The stones, his daughter, and his ducats."
Let good Antonio look he keep his day, and he shall pay for this.
A kinder gentleman treads not here. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. He answered, "Do not so. Slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very ripening of the time. And as for the Jew's bond, which he hath with me, let it not enter in your mind of love. Be married, and employ your chiefest thoughts to courtship, and such fair ostents of love as shall conveniently become you there." And even there, his eyes being big with tears, turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible, he wrung Bassanio's hand. And so they parted.
I think he only loves the world for me.
Quick, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon has taken his oath and comes to his election presently.
Behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. You choose that wherein I am contained. Straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately.
I'm enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket 'twas I choose. Next, if I do fail, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you, be gone.
To these injunctions everyone doth swear that comes to hazard with my worthless self.
Why, then, to thee, thou silver treasure house, tell me once more what title thou dost bear. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves, and well said too. For who shall go about to coast fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. How much then should cover that stand bare? How much be commanded that command? How much low peasantry should then be gleaned from the true seat of honor? And how much honor should then be picked from the chaff and ruin of the times to be new varnished? Well, but to my choice, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I am desert. Give me the key for this. And instantly unlock my fortunes here.
Too long a pause for that which you find there.
What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot! Presenting me a schedule here, I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and deservings? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves? My hopes and deservings no better?
To offend and judge are distinct offices, and of opposed natures.
What's here? The fire 7 times tried this. 7 times tried that judgment is, that never did choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss. Such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, I wis. Silvered o'er, and so is this. Take what wife you will to bed. I will ever be in your head, so be gone, you are spent. With 1 fool's head I came to woo, but I leave away with 2. Sweet adieu, I'll keep my oath, and patiently bear my wrong.
Thus hath the candle singed the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools, when they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose.
Ancient saying is no heresy. Mean and wise is by destiny.
Come, draw the curtain, Orissa.
Madam, there is lighted at your gate young Venetian, one that comes forward to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible greets, to wit, besides commands and courteous breath, gifts of rich value, yet I have not seen so like an ambassador.
No more, I pray thee. I am half afeard thou wilt say anon he is some kin to thee, thou spend such a high day which in praising him. Come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post, which comes so mannerly.
Sonia, Lord Love, I will indeed.
What sayest thou? Why, the end is Antonio hath lost the ship.
I would it might prove that Anna has lost.
Let me say amen betimes, lest the devil cross in my prayer. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Charlotte? What news among the merchants?
You knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I for my part knew the tailor that made the wing she flew with off.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was flesh, and then it is the complexion of them all to lead the damned.
Well, she is damned for it.
That's certain. If the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Out upon it, old carrion. Rebels it at these years.
I say my daughter is my flesh and blood.
There's more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Greenwich. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any losses at sea, or no?
Oh, why, I am sure if he forfeits, that will not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Well, hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions? Hath not a Jew senses? Hath not a Jew affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, struck by the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the very same summer and winter as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. So then, if a Christian wrong a Jew, what then should his humility by Christian example be? Why? Revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute. And it shall go hard, but I will be better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both.
We have been up and down to seek him.
Here comes another of the tribe. Third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turns you.
How now, Tubu? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came where it is Tubu, cannot find him.
I would she were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. Would she were hearsed at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin.
Antonio, as I heard in Genoa,
What? Ill luck?
hath an August he cast away from Tripolis.
I thank God! Is it true?
I spoke with some sailors that escaped the wreck. There came divers of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice. That's where he could not choose but break.
I am very glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I am glad of it.
One of them told me room that he had to be daughter for a monkey.
Out upon her! Thou torturest me, Tuba? It was my turquoise. I had it of Leo when I was a bachelor.
Antonio certainly undone.
Nay, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal. Meet me at our synagogue, Tubal. Go, good Tubal. Our synagogue.
I pray you tarry. Pause a day or two before you hazard. From losing wrong I lose your company. Therefore forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love, that I would not lose you, and you know yourself paid counsel's not such a quality. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am forsworn. So will I never be. So may you miss me. But if you do, you will make me wish a sin, that I had been forsworn. Beshrew your eyes, they have overlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours.
Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack.
Upon the rack, Bassanio.
None but that ugly treason of mistrust, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. There may as well be amity in life between snow and fire as treason and my love.
Aye, but I fear you speak upon the rack, where men enforced do speak anything.
Promise me life, and I'll confess the truth.
Well then, confess and live.
Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. O happy torment when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the caskets.
Away then, I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Now he goes, with no less presence, but with much more love, than young Alcides when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster. I stand for sacrifice. Go, Hercules. Live thou, I live. With much, much more dismay, I view the fight than thou that makes the fray.
So may the outward shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil? In religion, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament? There is no vice so simple, but assumes some mark of virtue on his outward parts. How many cowards, whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand, wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars, who, inward searched, have livers white as milk, and these assume but valor's excrement to render them redoubted. Look on beauty, and you shall see 'tis purchased by the weight, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of it. So are those crisped, snaky brunette locks, which maketh such wanton gambols with the wind upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head, the skull that bred them in the sepulchre. Thus, ornament is but the guiled shore to a most dangerous sea, the beauteous scarf veiling an Indian beauty. In a word, the seeming truth, which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore then, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee, nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge, between man and man. But thou meager lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught, thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. And here choose I, joy be the consequence.
how all other passions flee to air, as doubtful thoughts and rash embrace despair, and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate, allay thy ecstasy. I feel too much thy blessing. In measure scant thy joy, reign this excess, make it less, for fear I shirk it.
What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit! What demigod hath come so near creation? Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by the view, chance as fair and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll. Fair lady, by your leave, I come by notes to give and to receive, like one of two contending in a prize, that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes, hearing applause and universal shout, giddy in spirit, still gazing in a doubt, whether those peals of praise be his or no. So, thrice, fair lady, stand I even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Though for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better. Yet for you I would be troubled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, that only to stand high in your account, I might in virtues, beauties, living's friends exceed amount. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed, as from her lord, her governor, her king, myself, and what is mine, to you and yours is now converted. But now I was the master of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen over myself, and even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lords. I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love, and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins, expressed and not expressed. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say, Bassanio's dead.
My good lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper to cry, good joy, my lord and lady.
My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy you can wish, for I'm sure you can wish none from me. And when your honors do me to solemnize the bargain of your fate, I do beseech you, even at that time, I may be reigned too.
With all my heart, so thou canst get a wife.
I thank your lordship, you have got me one. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. You love, I love. For intermission no more pertains to me than to you, my lord. Your fortune stood upon the caskets there, and so did mine too, as a matter of fact. For wooing here until I sweat again, and swearing till my very roof was dry, with oaths of love, at last, if promise last, I have got a promise of this fair one here, to have her love provided your fortune achieved her mistress.
Is this true, Nerissa?
It is, madam, so you stand pleased with all.
And do you, Gratiano, mean good faith?
Yes, faith, my lord.
Our feast shall be much honored in your marriage.
Lorenzo and his infidel? What, and my old Venetian friend Salerio?
Lorenzo and Salerio, welcome hither. If that the youth of my new interest here have power to bid you welcome. By your leave, I bid my very friends and countrymen, sweet Portia, welcome.
So do I, my lord. They are entirely welcome.
My purpose was not to have seen you here, but meeting with Salerio, by the way, he didn't treat me past all saying nay to come with him along.
I did, my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio commended me to me.
Ere I ope this letter, I pray you tell me how my good friend doth.
Not sick, my lord, unless in mind, nor well, unless in mind. His letter there will show you his estate.
Nerissa, cheer yon stranger. Bid her welcome. Your hand, Salerio. What's the news from Venice? How doth that royal merchant good Antonio? I know he'll be glad of our success. We are the Jasons. We have won the fleece.
I would you had won the fleece that he hath lost.
There are some shrewd contents in yon same paper that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. With leave, my lord, I am half yourself, and must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you.
Oh, sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman, and I told you true. And yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. For indeed I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady. The paper has the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Salerio? Hath all his ventures failed? What? Not one hit? From Lisbon, from Mexico and England, from Barbary, Portugal, and India, and not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant marring rocks?
Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of a man, so keen and greedy to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state, if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the Magnificos of greatest port have all persuaded with him, but none can drive him from that envious breed of forfeiture of justice and his bond.
When I was with him, I heard him swear to Tybalt and Chus, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard before Antonio.
Is it your dear friend that is thus in trouble?
The dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honor more appears than any that draws breath in Italy.
What sum owes he the Jew?
For me, 3,000 ducats.
What? No more? Pay him 6,000 and debase the bond. Double 6,000, and then treble that, before a man of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First, go with me to church and call me wife, and then away to Venice to your husband. For never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. Come, away, you shall hence upon your wedding day. Bid your friends welcome, show merry cheer. Since you are dear bought, I will love you dear. But let me hear the letter of your friend.
Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried, my creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeit, and since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
O love, dispatch all business, and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But till I come again, no bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposer twixt us twain.
Jailer, look to him. Tell me not of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis.
Hear me yet, good child.
I will have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I would have my bond. Thou calledst me dog before thou hadst a cause, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice.
I pray thee, hear me speak.
I will have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I will have my bond, and therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a sad and dull-eyed fool. Shake the head, relent, sigh, and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I'll have no speaking. I will have my bond.
He is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men.
Let him alone. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life, his reason well I know. I oft delivered from his forfeitures many a time that did make moan to me. Therefore he hates me.
I'm sure the Duke will never grant the forfeiture to hold.
The Duke cannot deny the course of law. For the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, it will much impeach the justice of the state. Since the trade and profit of the city consistent in all nations. Therefore go, these griefs and losses are so big to me. I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Pray Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not.
Madam, although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and true conceit of godlike amity, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the absence of your lord. But if you knew to whom you show this honor, how true a gentleman you send relief, how dear a lover of my lord your husband, I know you would be prouder of the work than customary bounty can force you to.
I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now. Other things. Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and manage of my house until my lord's return. For mine own part, I have toward heaven breathed a secret vow, to live in prayer and contemplation, attended only by Nerissa here, until her husband and my lord's return. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there we will abide. I do desire you not to deny me this imposition, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon you.
Madam, with all my heart I shall obey you in all your prayer commands.
My people do already know my mind, and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself. So fare you well until we meet again.
Fair thoughts and happy hours attend on you.
I wish your ladyship all heart's content.
I thank you for your wish, and am well pleased to wish it back on you. Fare you well, Jessica. Now, Balthazar, as I have ever found thee honest and true, so let me find thee still. Take this same letter, use thou all the endeavor of a man, and speed to Padua. See thou render it into my cousin's hands, Dr. Valario, and look what notes and garments he doth bring me. Bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed, unto the traject, to the common ferry which trades to Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone. I shall be there before thee.
Madam, I know all you need to speak.
Come, Nerissa, for they have work in hand that you yet know not of. We shall see our husbands before they hear us.
Shall they see us?
They shall, Nerissa, but in such a way that they shall think we are accomplished with that we lack. I'll make thee any wager, when we are both accoutred like young men, I'll prove the prettier of the two. Wear my dagger with a braver grace, and speak between the change of man and boy with a reed voice. And speak a phrase like a fine bragging youth, and tell quaint lies, how honorable ladies sought my love, which, I denying, they fell sick and died. I could not do withal.
Why, shall we turn to men?
God, what a question's that, if thou wert not a lewd interpreter. But come, Nerissa, I'll tell thee all when we are in my coach, which stays for us at the park gates. Now, haste away, if we must measure 20 miles today.
How cheerest thou, Jessica? And now, good sweet, say thy opinion. How dost thou like the Lord Bassanio's wife?
Past all expressing, it is very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life, for having such a blessing in his lady, he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not merit them, in reason he shall not come to heaven. Why, if 2 gods placed a heavenly match, and on that wager lay 2 earthly women, Portia one, there must be something else common with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow.
Even such a husband hast thou of me, as she is for a wife.
Nay, ask my opinion too of that.
I will not. First, let us go to dinner.
Nay, let me praise you will have the stomach for it.
No, pray thee, let it serve the table. Then
Well-
howsoever thou speakest, I shall digest.
Well, I'll set you forth.
What? Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please, your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace hath taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and an arm to suffer with a quietness of spirit the very rage and tyranny of his.
Go, one, and call the Jew into the court.
He's ready at the door. He comes now.
Make room. Let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou wilt leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then, 'tis thought, thou shalt show thy mercy and remorse more strange than thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exact a penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou shalt not only lose this forfeiture, but, touched with humane gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of this principle, and glance an eye of pity on his losses. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I propose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the date the forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, then let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I'd rather choose to have a pound of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humor. What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it baned? What, are you answered yet? As to offend, himself being offended, so can I give no reason, nor will I not. More than a lodged hate and a certain loathing do I bear, Antonio, but I follow thus a losing suit against me. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
I pray you, think you question with the Jew. You may as well stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bathe his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf that has made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well do anything most hard as seek this up in that which is harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency. Let me have judgment, and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, and fie upon your law, there is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for justice. Answer. Shall I have it?
Upon my power I may dismiss this court, unless Valerio, a learned doctor who I am sent for to determine this, come here today. Where is he?
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor. You come from Padua.
Call for him. Give me the letters.
Good cheer, Antonio. What, man? Courage yet. The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose for me 1 drop of blood.
I am a tainted wether of flock. Meet is for death, the worst kind of fruit dropped earliest from the ground, and so let me. You cannot be better employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write my epitaph.
I come from Padua. From both, my lord. Hilario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
got the forfeiture from that banker out there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew. Thou makest thy knife keen. No metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, thou be damned, an execrable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused, that thou almost makest me waver in my faith. I stand here for law.
This letter from Valerio doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by to know your answer whether you will admit him or not.
With all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you, go give him courteous conference to this court. Meanwhile, the court shall hear Valerio's letter. Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of this letter, I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation, was with me a young doctor from Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which bettered his own learning. The greatest where I cannot commend enough comes with him, at my importunity to fill your grace's request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack your revered estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his accommodation. You hear the learned Valerio and what he writes. Ah, and here I take as the doctor come. Give me your hand. Coming from Padua, from old Valerio?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the present question in the court?
I'm informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Old Shylock and Antonio. Go stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such a rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly powers doth then show like as gods, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
Well, my deed's upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here I tender it for him in the court, yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times over, on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, then it must appear that malice bears down truth.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error, by this same example, will rush into the state. It cannot be.
A Daniel come to judgment. Yea, a Daniel. O wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenant, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. Well then, I charge you by the law, whereof you are a most deserving pillory. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter you. I stay here on my bond.
Most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
O noble judge, O excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
It is very true. O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond doth it not, noble judge. Nearest his heart, those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
You merchant, have you anything to say?
But little, I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I fall into this for you. For herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. For it is still in her use to let the wretched man with his wealth. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say to her how I love you. Speak me fair to death. And once the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you, that you shall lose your friend. And he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do but cut deep enough, I will pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife I protect my love. I wish she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this courage to.
'Tis well you offer it behind your back, though she would else make an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas have been her husband rather than a Christian? Come, we trifle time. I pray thee, pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge, most learned judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
A sentence. Come,
Tarry
prepare.
a little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are, a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take then thy pound of flesh. But, in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscated unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge, mark Jew, oh, learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shalt see the act, for as thou urgest justice, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, learned judge, mark Jew, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft, the Jew shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. You shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, a learned judge, an upright judge.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here it is.
Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less no more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takes more or less, but just a pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated.
At least allow me my principal.
He hath refused it in the open court. You shall have merely justice in his bond.
Shall I not fairly my principal?
I shall have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Why then, the devil give him good of it. I'll stay no longer questioned.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive shall seize one half his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only, gainst all other voice. In which predicament I say thou standst, for as it appears by manifest proceeding that indirectly and directly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Thou shalt see the difference of our spirit. I pardon thee thou laugh before thou ask it. For half thy wealth, it is Antonio's. The other half may come into the general estate, which humble miss may drive up into a fine.
Aye, for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. take my house when you do take the prop that doth sustain it. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
Please, my lord the Duke and all the court, to quit the fine for one half his goods, I am content. So he will let me have the other half, to render it upon the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favor he do presently become a Christian, and yet you record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
Pray you give me leave to go from hence.
Get thee gone, but do it. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have, by your wisdom, been this day acquitted of grievous penalties, in lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal.
He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I wish you well, till we meet again.
Dear sir, of force I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us as tribute, not as fee. Grant me 2 things, I pray you, not to deny me, and to pardon me.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. Give me your gloves, I'll wear them for your sake. And for your love, I'll take this ring. Do not draw back your hand. I'll have nothing else but only this, and you in love shall not deny me this.
This ring, good sir? Alas, it is a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this.
I'll have nothing else but only this, and now methinks I have a mind to it.
Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell, nor give, nor lose it.
That skewf serves many men to save their gifts, and if your wife be not a mad woman, and know how well I have deserved this ring, she would not hold our enemy forever for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you.
My lord the son, let him have the ring, and let my love and service to you withal be valued against your wife's commandments.
Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him. Give him the ring, and bring him, if thou canst, unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste. Come, you and I will thither presently, and in the morning early will we both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
Inquire the Jew's house out. Give him this deed and let him sign it. We'll away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. This deed will be well welcome to Lorenzo.
Fair sir, you are well overtaken. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, hath sent you here this ring, and doth entreat your company at dinner.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you show my youth old Shylock's house.
That will I do.
Sir, I would speak with you. Possibly, I can get my husband's ring, which I can make him swear to keep forever.
Thou mayest have warned. We shall have old swearing that they did give the rings away to men. Away, make haste. We have much to do.
Come, good sir, will you show me to this house?
The moon shines bright on such a night as this, when the sweet wind would gently kiss the trees. In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her souls with many vows of faith and ne'er a true one.
In such a night did pretty Jessica, like the little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave her.
I would outnight you, did no man come, but hark, I hear the footing of a man.
That is a voice, or I'm much deceived of Portia.
He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We have been praying for our husband's welfare, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they are not yet, but there has come a messenger to signify their coming.
Go in, Nerissa. Give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you.
Madam, your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. There are no telltales, madam. Fear you not.
This night, methinks, is was the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis the day, such as the day, is when the sun is hid.
We should hold day with the Antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Let me give light, but let me not be light, for a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be beside him so to me. But God sort all, you're welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man. This is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should, in all sense, be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more that I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you're very welcome to our house, and it must appear in other ways than words. Therefore I scant this breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were guilt that had it from my part, since you do take it love so much at heart.
What? A quarrel? Ho, already? What's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring, that she did give me, whose post he was for all the world, like cutler's poetry carved upon a knife. Love me, and leave me not.
What talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it to you that you would wear it till your hour's death, and that it should lie with you in your grave. If not for that, yet for your vehement oaths, you should have been respected and have kept the ring. Gave it a judge's clerk? God's my judge. The clerk will ne'er wear hair on the face that had it.
He will, and if you live to be a man.
I, if a woman live to be a man.
Now, by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrubby boy, no higher than myself. The prating boy begged as a fee. I could not from my heart deny it him.
You were to blame, I must be plain with you, to part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and made him swear never to part with it. And here he stands. I dare be sworn for him, he would not lose it, nor pluck it from his finger for the wealth of the world masters. Now, in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause for reason, and toward me, I should be mad at it.
Why, I were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it.
My lord Bassanio gave his ring away, unto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, he begged mine, and neither man nor master would take aught but the two rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me.
Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, and would conceive for what I gave the ring, and how unwillingly I left the ring, when naught would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honor to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so unreasonable, if you had pleased to have defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony? Nerissa teaches me what to believe. I'll die for it, but some woman had the ring.
No, by my honor, madam, by my soul, no woman had it but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me, and begged the ring, the which I did deny him, and suffered him to go displeased away. Even he that had held up the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady, for by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor e'er come near my house, since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep from me. I'll become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have.
And I, his clerk, therefore be well advised how you do leave me to mine own protection.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Sir, grieve not you. You are welcome now.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself.
Mark you but that. In both my eyes, he doubly sees himself, in each eye one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me, pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for this love, but which for him that had your husband's ring had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit that my lord will never break faith advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
Here, Lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor.
I had it of him. Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this last night, did lie with me.
You are all amazed. Take this letter, read it at your leisure. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa there her clerk. Lorenzo here shall witness I set forth as soon as you, and even now arrived. Antonio, you are welcome. Unseal this letter soon. There you shall find that 3 of your argosies have richly come to harbor suddenly. You shall not know by what strange nature I chanced on this letter.
I am dumb.
Were you the doctor, and I knew you not?
Were you the clerk?
I. How now, Lorenzo?
Sweet doctor, you shall be my brother. When I am absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you give me life and living. For here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to shore.
Lorenzo, my clerk hath some good comforts, too, for you.
I will give him that without a fee. There I do give to you and Jessica a special deed of gift of the rich due after his death of all he dies possessed of.
Fair ladies, you drop manna in the way of starving people.
It is almost morning, and I'm sure you are not satisfied of these events at full. Let us go in and charge us thereupon interrogatories, which we will answer faithfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall face is whether till the next night she had rather stay, or go to bed now, being charged today. But were that day to come, I should wish it were dark, till I were couching with the doctor's clerk. Well, while I live, I'll fear no other thing so sore as keeping safe Nerissa's ring.
Thank you.